whatever she'd pee when they went to pet her. I wonder what that meant.
Oh, that's
Yours are aggressive and mine
Yes.
urinated.
Yeah, so that's a good one. That's called submissive peeing. And so what happens is the dog was a bit shy, and so what we want to do there is we want to, rather than having people pet the dog overhand, go underhand and pet the dog onto the chest. And it's incredible how you'll see the dog's body lift up and be more receptive to praise. So for those of you that have shy rescue dogs or just timid dogs in general, have your visitors and whoever else pet the dog underhand on the chest. It's going to be incredible, the difference that you see in the dog.
Is there a
All
difference
you had to do was go,
a dog,
"Hi,
like,
Peaches,"
peeing
and that
on
was
the
it.
guy?
It was like, "Don't touch the dog." She eventually grew out of it because of training, but we'd have to like take her outside to greet people, like right on the grass. But still, I was just saying that because it was pretty funny. Because Cindy's is biting people in the butt. We all have different loved ones that act different, right? All our furry friends.
Oh yeah.
But these are great tips, Brian. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Of course.
Cindy,
Absolutely.
did that answer your question?
That absolutely does. Thank you.
I think that I wouldn't say that every person that your dog is aggressive towards or what, that maybe your dog just really is possessive of you and likes you to himself. But just because he has to get used to somebody doesn't make that person a bad person.
Well, maybe those are the people I should be introducing to my mom instead to get her opinion. So if my dog
but that's
doesn't
a female.
really like them, I know. Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of correlation. If it's a rescue dog that they've been abused by a male before or intimidated by. My dog used to attack anybody in uniform, like police officers and stuff, like lunge and get bark, not attack, but bark. And it was a German Shepherd actually. And I don't know, but nothing ever happened that would have caused it. But I don't know. But thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
all right,
thank
thanks.
you.
Bye.
Now, Tiffany, there's something really interesting that happens in that, like, our animals can feel how we feel. And so the way I describe that is everything goes down leash. And so as it relates to the last caller, maybe the dog is feeling like her uncertainty of a situation. So then the dog feels uncertain. You see, because dogs are born to follow and they look to us for guidance. And so if us as a leader is feeling uncomfortable about a situation or not liking someone, we can project that onto the animal and then potentially not like them as well also.
Never know. As I had her in college, so nobody wants authority around a party. The same.
Exactly.
But welcome callers to call in 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. This is great information and some great advice. And Ryan, I just really appreciate you taking your time to do this. And 866-826-1340. It's time for our second break, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one. Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello, and thanks for listening. Welcome back to Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. And today we're talking about having tips for your dog during these times, definitely pandemic times. And my guest today is an expert with K-9 emotional support dogs, K-9 handler, and he is sharing so much wealth and knowledge. He's the founder of World of Dog Training and has been working with over 3,000 dogs that I read somewhere. And even though like he's swearing he's not 50 years old, but welcome back, my friend, Ryan Matthews.
Hi, Tiffany, I'm really not.
I'm just kidding. I know you're not. It's just the fact that you said that earlier is funny. Next, we did say that we would share secrets. You would share secrets to train any dog. And we also have a surprise giveaway towards the end. And we have 15 minutes. So we have to talk about tips with what you can do during this time too. And, share your secrets that you could train any dog. And I can't wait to hear about them.
Let's do it. So as it relates to these times, like for those of us that have dogs with separation anxiety, you may notice that, which is essentially the dog is anxious and gets worked up, maybe chews on couch or eats a drywall in extreme cases when people leave. You may find a fundamental shift. Now, this is actually a great time for your dog to be rid of that behavior. But for those of you that have dogs with separation anxiety, what I want you to do, now that you're staying home so much, is I want you to leave the house for 30 seconds and then come back and ignore the dog. Okay? Ignore the dog, only acknowledge the dog until the dog is calm and lays down on their own. Okay? Once that happens, you reward the dog. You're going to repeat that about 10 different times a day. And let's face it, we got plenty of time, a lot of us. So let's give that a try for separation anxiety. For other people, the dogs are not maybe getting out as much, and so how can we then keep the dog mentally engaged? One thing you can do is the feeding. If you feed your dog kibble and you spread the kibble around the house, your dog is using their nose to search, okay? And because dogs are born blind, so I want you to consider doing that.
They're born blind?
Yes, dogs are born blind, so the very first sense that they use is their nose. And so we want to capitalize on that and allow them to use their nose by searching for their food. And so spread the kibble around in the backyard in the grass, put in different places that's easy to access within the house, and allow your dog to have some mental stimulation of using their nose to find their food rather than just eating out of a bowl. Okay, that's a fun mental stimulation game you can do during these times.
There's some tools and toys that where the treats are inside of it, and it's like almost impossible for them to get out, and it's kind of fun watching them do that.
They're like puzzles.
Hold on a second. We have a question. Ed's got a question.
I was wondering if Ryan appreciated that photo that we sent him.
I was trying to tell him to look at his text, but it's hard to do when we're not next to each other. But so at the radio station, apparently Lola's dog misses her when she's gone and tears up the office. So
yeah, 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes, he goes, "Can you send this to Ryan?" I'm like, it's kind of hard because he's on the phone that he's texting.
That's true.
I see it. So the picture, friends, is an office environment, and looks like a trash bag, and then the contents inside the trash bag are spread all throughout this room, which looks like an office. Is
Yes.
that pretty accurate?
That dog finds things in the office we haven't seen in years.
It's a great candidate for hiding the food and searching for its dinner type of thing. So for those of you that have a dog that gets into the trash, what does that look like? Well, let's go back to why would a dog do that? Well, number one, being bored. And so exercise really matters. And one thing that we can teach during these times is to get a treadmill. If you already have one, that would be great. So I have a treadmill in my backyard for when I'm busy. My dog runs the treadmill. Now, there's a lot of disclaimers. Of course, be responsible. Don't do it unattended, and never tie your dog to a leash to the treadmill, okay? But I can give you support on how to train the dog to do treadmill. So one is to give your dog exercise, whether that's playing in the yard or, playing a tug, and sometimes playing tug is okay. Other times it's not, depending on the dog's personality. But having exercised your dog will limit the dog's desire to want to get into things such as trash. The other thing is that
also, a lid on the trash can might help. Just saying.
Sometimes all we do is we just move where the trash is. Sometimes it's compromised, right? And so it's not always a training issue. Sometimes all we do is, okay, well, let's get a different type of trash can that has a lid and that's heavier duty where it can't be knocked over, because some dogs that really want those Scooby snacks inside the trash, they'll just knock it over. And so we just got to think about, is this dog wildly crazy driven and it's going to go after it no matter what? Then we have to take more precautions. Or is the dog pretty mellow and it doesn't care all that much? But they're opportunists. So remember that, everyone. Dogs are opportunists, okay? And so that's probably what it is. If there's no lid on the trash can, and think about, depending upon the dog, if it's at their nose level, it's too easy. It's too much of a temptation, okay? So having a lid is a great idea. And then also the placement of the trash. And sometimes it's, let's be proactive and not reactive. And all that means is, let's not set our pets up for failure. Because what happens if we put some rotisserie chicken in there, we throw away the bones, and those soft bones splinter and can puncture our dog's internal organs, right? So it's definitely our responsibility to do the right thing and set our pets up for success.
Okay, one more question, because we had to deal with it a lot last night, and we're actually dealing with it right now. What can we do to ease dogs that are very tense about thunder?
Thunder. All right. So a few options. They make this thing called a thunder shirt that you can wrap around the dog. Think of it as a baby being coddled in a blanket tightly wrapped. That's one option. Another option is you can use high-value treats and have your dog do some type of obedience, and you're essentially reframing or shifting their mind to not want to be all nervous. And if the dog wants to go and hide, then you just put the dog on leash. Okay, so it can't just go off and hide on its own. And then there's also some natural supplements as well,
like CBD oil.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't know if we could talk about that. Yeah, so this is non-THC, meaning your dog won't get high. It's not a Cheech and Chong type of thing, and it's just very mellowing. So I'm actually in the process of developing my own CBD brand for calming benefits of dogs, and it's been remarkable. Now, is it a magic pill type of thing? No, not at all. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Often it does, though. And so CBD is a great alternative,
I use it on mine.
Natural for calming. Do you? Okay,
it does.
great.
It does help with the anxiety, especially during this pandemic, and like I have